He was like, April Fool's, Big Serbs. Like, I was like, really, bro? Like, it might have been funny, but the shit wasn't gonna be funny. You know what I mean? You was literally like this close from getting, not getting, like this close to losing a client. You know what I mean? I was really like, wow, this fool bamboozled me on the real. Like, what kind of shit is that, Karlos? How the fuck you gonna do an April Fool's joke like that? Like, what are you, 5? You're gonna be over here talking about, yo, I'm not gonna cut any hair anymore. I got an opportunity. Like, bullshit.
Mash Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. He wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Serbs, back in the place to be, La Merca Superior, Palace 81 Studios, back in effect, live and direct. Mr. Tell a friend, tell your girlfriend for me. It's Mr. 9 Times. It's your boy, man. We back. April Fool. So I got right off the bat, we kicking off April 1st with a good old classic April Fool's joke. People who do April Fool's jokes now are pretty wild, you know what I mean? We're not in 5th grade anymore. We're like, when was the last, like, April Fool's joke you heard? And when was the last time it was an actually good one? Because literally, Karlos hit me with a sick-ass April Fool's joke, and I'm going to tell you why it's sick. He was on the sick-ass one for doing this one. So, whoever doesn't know, my barber Karlos, he's been cutting my hair for, well, like 5 years now, almost 5 years. It's crazy. Like, time just flies by. I had to really think about it, like, the other day. Like, Karlos has been cutting my hair for 5 years. It's fucking crazy, you know what I mean? I don't know. I want to say Karlos told me he had opened opened up the shop at Ab's Studio or whatever it is over there in Ontario. I'm pretty sure it's Ontario, right? Not fucking. It is Ontario because Ontario Mills. I think once you pass the 10, you're in Rancho at some point. Whatever it is, I've been with Karlos I've been getting my hair cut by Karlos pretty much since he's been over, like at the old shop. And like around 2020, no, this is like more recently. I think 2020, yeah, like 2021, right? 2021? Some shit like that. Whatever it is, I've been getting my hair cut. I think it is 2021. I've been getting my hair cut since before then, and since he's been moved into his like new business, you know, one of none. Shout out to them, all of them, you know, Lex, and I forgot the other homie's name. But what is it? So what is it? The 3rd? So April 1st, which was Saturday, I'm with my pop, and we're just chilling at the mall, whatever. I forgot. Oh, we went to go see John Wick 4. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I was with my mom and my dad. We want to go see John Wick 4 because over the last few weeks, we saw John Wick 1, 2, 3, and then we want to go see 4. But while we're over there at the mall, I see that Karlos had put on his Instagram, you know, I will not be cutting hair anymore. I found a new opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I'm like, no fucking way. And I hit him up too, like, no way, with like a tearful eye emoji. And he didn't respond to me for like a long time, which was like, it was weird to me because I'm like, wow, like I've been getting my hair cut by Karlos for a long time. Like this fool is really gonna fucking bounce. You know, like, what is he going to do? Like, is this fool going to become like a brick mason or an iron worker? He's with the union now. Like, what is it? You know, it was kind of befuddling to me. So this is why you should never do jokes like that. I'm literally looking up barbers now. Like, well, I literally lost the best barber I've ever like had been, getting my hair cut by. A lot of barbers are amateurs. They just do the bare minimum. They're not even real barbers. They're just like people who cut your hair, and that's bullshit. I think if you're gonna cut hair, you should do it to the best of your ability. But that's the world we live in now. People don't people aren't working and doing the best that they can with the gifts that guy has given them. They're just doing the bare minimum, and that's with like a lot of other things. It doesn't have to be cutting hair. So I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to get a new barber. Karlos isn't gonna cut my hair anymore. But I think by the end of the day, he was like, April Fool's, Big Subs. Like, I was like, really, bro? Like, it might have been funny, but the shit wasn't gonna be funny. You know what I mean? You was literally like this close from getting not getting like this close to losing a client. You know what I mean? I was really like, wow, this fool bamboozled me on the real. Like, what kind of shit is that, Karlos? How the fuck you gonna do an April Fool's joke like that? Like, what are you, 5? You're gonna be over here talking about, yo, I'm not gonna cut any hair anymore. I got an opportunity. Like, bullshit. You got a fucking opportunity. Unless you become a millionaire overnight, or you didn't hit the fucking stock, your stock rose all the way up with the Shiba Inu coin or the Doja coin or whatever the fuck they call it. You did not get a new opportunity. Unless, Elon called you talking about, yo, I'm fly you out, go to SpaceX, just cut all the SpaceX employees' hairs and I'll pay you 20 G's a month for that. I don't believe in none of that shit anymore. This fool Karlos really did. So salute to him. That was a good joke, you know what I mean? But you was really close to getting losing a client, you know what I mean? And but to be real though, had Karlos really stopped cutting out, I probably would have gone with Lex, or I forgot that fool's name. It kind of sucks, but I barely see that fool. The third homie. I know his name, but I'm just not remembering it right now. I see him too and shit. He's cool. He's a funny dude. But he just doesn't like he might be there 1 out of 4 times. I've probably seen him like at least like around 5 times in the year. Like Karlos has cut my hair. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That was really funny though. That was a good April Fool's joke. I'm like, who does April Fool's jokes though? Like, really? Usually an April Fool's joke would be like, yo, my wife got a vasectomy. April Fool's, like, you know what I mean? You don't talk about, yo, I just got fired. I got laid off. My dog died. I grew a 3rd ball. That's like not an April Fool's joke. That's really like, you did? You grew another fucking schmegma on your unit, homie? Pause. But yeah, so that was Saturday. We want to go see John Wick 4. John Wick 4 was a really good movie. Whenever I see 3 hours on a movie, I'm just kind of like, slow your roll. Now, why you 3 hours? Avatar's a 3. It didn't got to be 3 hours or 2 hours. I love movies that are like an hour, 45 minutes. I think John Wick, the first movie, is like that. Something short, something that's like, the movie just goes by and you're like, fuck, it's been 2 hours? Like, damn, that was a great ass movie. This one was kind of like, fuck. Now I got to plan, I got to run, because obviously you getting the popcorn, which makes you thirsty. You get a drink. You drink, you got to piss. Some point in a fucking 3-hour movie, I had to piss like 3 times and somehow only went once. But I had to find, there was like literally 1, 2, maybe even 3 scenes that were just no action. When he's talking to Kane, there's gonna be spoilers, so if you don't like spoilers, you just skip through this shit. But what's his name? Ip Man is Kane in this movie. That was really dope. There's like maybe a few minutes of screen time where there's no action and he's talking. The scene where they go see, I didn't even know his name was Sharon or Sharon or Sharon or Sharon, whatever his name is. Rest in peace, Lance Riddick, the guy. He was crazy as he dies in the movie and then he died in real life. That's some Illuminati shit, bro. He died of a heart attack. That's wild, but he was really young, when they go and they're at his when they cremate you, don't they put you in like a mausoleum or something like that? I don't know what it is, but that was literally when I ran pissed. Thank God the bathroom was right there. Cause you ever been in one of those theaters where I think the West Covina movie theater, I think it's Regal Cinemas, like fucking, it's not 14, but it's one of those like 23 or something, where the bathroom is literally like all the way in the front. So if you fuck around and you're at like the last theater over there where the like emergency exits are and all that, you gotta literally fucking do the Olympic baton fucking pass. Like you literally gotta do the 400-yard sprint or whatever to take a piss, do the 600 dash down back, just so you can make sure you didn't miss nothing important in the movie. But regardless, it was a great movie. The villain, it was kind of like they're doing this every movie where there's like a new villain. The first one, it was like the dumbass kid and his weirdo father. The second one, the villain was, oh fuck, I don't even remember the second. Oh, the second one was like the guy who hires him to kill his sister. And then the third one, the main, there was like no real main villain except that dyke chick. But even like her, she didn't show up in the fourth movie. And then the fourth, so every new movie is a new villain. That's kind of like, it just made it real hard to believe that the character had like villainous, like this villainous thing that they were trying to credit this guy. Because it's like every movie is like, you have to get comfortable with like a villain. The first one was pretty good, you know, because it's the first one. So you're like, okay, like I believe it. Then the second one was like, oh, okay, like the main guy, like you hated him, you know what I mean? Like it was like, you know, fuck this motherfucker. The third one, it was more so like, okay, it's a dyke chick, she's just annoying. And the fourth one was like rich guy with power. Of course, he's the cocky, arrogant SOB. You know, it was like the second one to me had the best villain, and this movie was just too damn long, bro. The fighting was really dope. Like the last hour of the movie was like a comedy. Like it was just a whole bunch of like kind of, they don't call it, what slapstick is like dumb humor, but where it's like there was like a lot of joke crackings and things like that. So it was like a good, like it ended like with a lot of action and humor too, which like I appreciate. And this full John Wick, the one of the things you gotta, there's like two things in this movie that was really like okay, like how do they go about this shit? So this is super spoilers right here. So if you haven't seen a movie like Vamoose, this fool dies at the end, John Wick, but in dying at the, okay, so he, in the whole movie, he gets run over by 10 cars, he gets shot 100 times, he gets his ass whipped a billion times, he gets thrown off of ledges, buildings, thrown down flights of stairs, but the way he dies is from a gunshot wound to the stomach. I was like, wow, I had to really put it together and be like, yo, this fool really died bleeding out instead of like internal bleeding. Like had they made it more where like gradually you could see him like the wear and tear, you know what I mean? And in the end, it's the final gut shot. That would have made it more, okay, believable. But this fool literally is like shot, run the fuck over, thrown off of buildings. Like, you know, this fool would have been died a long time ago. But he's A-okay until the point where he gets shot in the stomach. Then he just sits down, falls over, he dies. It was just like, wow. And it all accumulates to the end where, I forgot her name, but the chick, her father dies earlier on in the movie. It's like the post credits is her going up to Kane with a knife, and you know that it's not gonna be John Wick. It's gonna be about this girl, and they're probably gonna make another 4 movies out of that. And I don't know how good that one's gonna pan out because the girl, her specialty was like a crossbow. I'm not really trying to see people get hit with fucking bows and arrows like if this is medieval times. I'm trying to see someone get shot. I'm trying to see someone get shanked. I'm trying to see shit blown up, dynamite, C4. I'm trying to see buildings fall, gorillas let loose, toxins, carcinogens. I'm trying to see mass explosions and pillaging. Not no crossbows, sword fights, and jousting. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm not trying to see it. I'm not. John Wick 4 was a great movie. It was a little too long, kind of corny. The story was okay, but just the fact that it's like real repetitive, we had to get used to a new cast of characters, new villains, yada yada. You could tell like 4 was like, we're just gonna end this shit right here because we ran out of room. You know when you hit a dead end? Fast and the Furious hit a dead end a long time ago, but somehow they put bazookas on the cars and they somehow brought in tanks and freaking ATVs and whatever it is else, the helicopters and aerial assaults and shit. But somehow John Wick knew that this was the last movie. We're not going to try to push anybody. We're not going to go to Tokyo. We're not going to, well, actually they did go to Japan, but like, you know what I mean? They were like, okay, we did all we could with this movie. So we're just going to cut this shit in half. And they're going to make a whole nother series out of it. I'm cool. Like, I want to see that. I'll give John Wick a solid 8. You know, it was really dope. Had you not told me this was a 3-hour movie, I would have been like, fuck, you know, I would have been mad about it. But since I knew going in it was going to be a 3-hour movie, it was kind of more so, okay, like now planning it out and just like knowing I'm going to be there until the sun goes down. Literally, we came out and the sun was like going down. You know what I mean? It was going down like, what's the homie saying? Meet me at the mall. It's going down. And guarantee you going down. Okay, anyway. So that was Saturday. The day before, Friday. The night before that, Thursday, I come home from work. And my pops is like, I got the day off tomorrow, so get ready. I'm like, well, what you trying to do? He's like, I don't know, but we'll get ready. Tomorrow, just wake up and get ready. So my pop is kind of like, he says things like that, you know, like we're just gonna go for a drive, but he has everything planned out in his head. Graduations, dinner reservations. There's a whole lot of things that my pop says to me that about, you know, we're just gonna go for a drive. But no, little do I know, I just signed up to go to Chuck E. Cheese, someone else's fucking birthday party. What is it? A baptism, of a bar mitzvah, and like a quinceañera by the end of the day. But we was just gonna go for a drive. That's all I was told. We just gonna go for a drive. But then I ended up doing all this other shit. That's how my dad likes to do. I mean, I don't know why he does it like that. He's kind of always been like that. But whatever. Regardless, I get in the car. We get in the car. My pops is like, yo, you want to go to Ammo Brothers? I'm like, fucking, I don't want to go nowhere where we just window shopping. And he's like, well, let's just go to Ammo Brothers. Like, fuck it. I said, you know what? Either we're going to buy something or we're not going to buy something. Either way, it's just going to be real quick. We're going to eat lunch and we're going to come back home. This is like 11 in the morning. We go over there. And my dad, he's asking me all these questions about the FSC, the fire safety course. Do I need to take a test? Does he need to go on Quizlet and all that? And I'm telling him, like, you don't have to, but I study for it. Like I studied, like if I was gonna, like if like a Harvard graduation ceremony was dependent on this, you know what I mean? So my dad, he takes the test and he passes it. He got like 3 questions wrong. One of them I remember, which was like, if like what's like probable cause in like shooting somebody? It was like disturbing the peace, trespassing, and assault with a deadly weapon, and then all the above. My dad put all the above. And I was like, yeah, bro, it's assault with a deadly weapon. Like if you shoot somebody over disturb, like you're gonna shoot somebody over disturbing the peace. And that was like really funny to me. The gun owner was like, hey man, what's legal and what's moral is 2 different conversations. I'm like, ha ha ha, that was so funny. Fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, I got better jokes than that. But anyway, I'm like, That was just the funniest thing to me. I'm like, you're going to shoot somebody over trespassing, get off my lawn, boom, and you just get hit, and you fucking, my pop shot your ass just because you was on our lawn. High key, I wanted to do that with these neighbors over here, but fuck it, you didn't hear that from me, you know. My dad gets his FSC, boom, he could buy a gun now. I got something in my fucking teeth over here. I'm over here like, I think I was eating popcorn yesterday. I got like a big ass bucket of popcorn from John Wick, and I got the refill and I ate it yesterday. We're looking at the pistols. And I'm looking at the pistols and the cases. And I'm like, oh shit. That's the Glock 22. Theo has that one. There's this, there's that. There's the Springfield. That's the gun everyone wants. Smith & Wesson, everyone wants that. The MP Shield, 9mm. And I look and I'm like, oh shit. That's the Burst of Firestorm right there. And that's the gun like I've been wanting. I originally wanted the Burst of Thunder, but the Burst of Firestorm like blows that gun out of the water as far as, you know, just the grip. The grip alone, you know, it's the same gun except the Burst of Thunder is like chrome or metal or some sort of metal versus the Firestorm is all black with the rubber grips, and it has the finger grooves. And when I held it, when the guy pulled it out and I had like aimed it, I was like, oh fuck it, I'm buying this gun. I was so sure I'm buying this gun that I bought 200 rounds of 380 ammo. So that just lets you know I'm gonna buy this gun, because there's no way I'm buying 380 ammo and just letting it sit around the house with no pistola, you know what I mean? My dad looks around, and I can't believe he's looking at guns. Like I'm like, there's no way my dad's gonna buy a gun. I know my pop. He's just gonna look around, window shop, and then be like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And then we just spent like 3 hours here for no reason. But he's looking, and he's asking like a million questions, which is what had me on the ropes. Like, is he really gonna buy a gun? He's asking like more questions than the police about this. But it was between like the CZ like P10 or whatever it is, and I think it was the Springfield XD. So my dad's looking at him. He's like fucking doing all the, you know what I mean? And he's like looking, and it's taking too long. So I'm like, maybe if I just tell him what I like out of the two guns, maybe that'll, you know, get this shit show on the road. So what was the two positive things that I like with the CZ was it was all metal. It was a heavier gun, meaning it takes more of the recoil, and it was double action. And with double action pistols, the first pull on the trigger, the first shell that flies out is gonna be a little like you gotta really pull the trigger versus versus other guns, it's kind of like bang 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 and it's the same trigger pull. But with the double action, the first shell is hard to fly out. But then after that, it's like you could just unload the clip, bah, 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 and you fucking, you know, you let the shells flying like Superman in the Justice League. So I had to tell my pop, I'm like, yo, I like the CZ more, the Springfield. I don't really like, I've shot the gun, but I shot the Springfield before, and I'm like, nah. And I held the CZ, and I was just like, yeah, like this is like, I like this, you know. It just seems like more of a gun that I would like personally. But I told my dad I like it. I didn't want to tell him I like it. I didn't want to sway his opinion. But being that I shot the Springfield before, I was like, you know what? Let's just get something new. I never, like, no one that I know of got a CZ. We all got Colts and Glocks and ARs and shotties. You know, no one really has like a Bursa. That's the gun I want to get. Nobody really has a CZ. No one has like any of these like Berettas or any of these other guns that are like well known, but we like the fam just don't got them, so we haven't shot them. My dad ended up buying the CZ P10. On the way back, my dad is like, he looks at me, he's like, what did I buy? The ZC? What did I buy? And I was like, fuck, Pop, you don't even know what gun you bought? Like, that is crazy, Pop. I'm like, I was making fun of him. I'm like, what did I get? The ZC, the PG-13, the fucking, I was like, Pop, that is crazy. You don't even know what gun you buy. And he's over here, he was all gun happy. Like, he was like, oh, I bought a gun. He's over looking at his phone, looking at the gun he bought. He's like, that's my baby and all this shit. And he looked at me while we were driving away, and he was like, "You're a bad influence." I'm like, "Hey man, I didn't make you buy that gun." I was like, "Yo, this wasn't even planned. I didn't even want to go to Ammo Brothers. We could have went to the boot farm and buy a alligator fucking belt or something. We didn't have to do this. You know, I was totally on you." I was like, "Hey man, I'm not influencing shit, bro." So right after he buys the gun, we're still at Ammo Brothers. He buys the pistol. He's like, he asked the guy like, does he have any CZ magazines? And he's like, not at the moment. My dad orders 5 CZ clips, bro. I'm like, what in the fuck did... Now thinking about it, I'm like, yo, I kind of did turn my dad, but my dad's always had this in him. My dad, I know for a fact, my dad's always liked guns. He's always wanted to buy a gun. Like, this is just me, like, getting him in a something he's, you know, like I've always liked Pokemon. I just never got into it. When I got Pokemon Go, I was fully immersed in Pokemon Go, just knowing everything. I wanted to know everything, every type, every move, every build, every stat of every Pokemon and things of that nature. That was my pop. As soon as I bought my Glock, that was the road to my pop getting it led to this moment of my dad getting the CZ. So my dad buys 5 mags and he's like, "Let me see your ARs." I'm like, "Okay, John Wick, like, relax, bro. Like, what you trying to get, you know, defend yourself from when Al Qaeda comes through and we got all the straps for him?" Had they told my dad, "Yo, you know what I mean, we got a bazooka in the back," my dad would have been talking about, "How you reload this thing?" You know what I mean? Like, my dad would have really been like gun ho with it. And it was super funny because they're showing my dad this AR that's not considered an assault rifle. So anything that's like has certain modifications to a rifle is considered an assault rifle, which in the state of California has some lame ass assault rifle, like just super stupid California gun laws. And then we're the fucking state that has like the most shootings or whatever it is. I don't know this for a fact, but I know Cali, like in the hood and shit like that, we got the most gangs in this bitch. More gangs, more bullets, more bodies dropping. I don't know. I'm just, you know, between the Bay and LA, we got like, there's a lot of crime and a lot of shootings happen, bruh. So why not have a lenient gun law? Not lenient in where anyone can get a gun. I'm talking about anyone can own a firearm that is capable and has the responsibility of owning one. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying give everyone fucking ARs. I'm just saying let everybody have the right to own them. You know what I mean? If I want an AK-47, let me own an AK-47. But you can't. I don't think anyone can in America, or at least in California. But like an OG AK-47, they done got those. But you can't have none of those in Cali unless you owned it from like 1985 or whatever it is. But hey, so they're showing my dad all these ARs and shit. And the AR they showed us that wasn't considered an assault rifle. I said, why would they do this to a rifle? It literally, like, you couldn't even hold the not the pistol grip, you couldn't even hold the handle. It was like they had this shark fin sticking out, so you could only, like, you know, caress it or finger bang it and shit like that. And the stock was it was a fixed stock, so you couldn't collapse it or extend it. So if you got, you know, short arms or long arms, and, you know, if it's a small rifle for you, it's gonna be like uncomfortable, versus if you're like a midget and you need to collapse it or whatever. Well, there it is. There's your short arm ass over there, like holding a big ass chopper. The whole, and I think it's called a serrated barrel or whatever it is. Like, this shit, it was just a horrible looking gun, versus the AR they brought out that they in California is considered an assault rifle. It had the extended collapsible stock. It had the whole handle, the whole grip on it. The barrel had the serrated things. I don't know if that's what it's called. I just know it had like the spikes on the ends. I don't know what that's for. And some other shit, I forgot. But My dad was literally gonna buy an AR, and so I was like, yo, I gotta take a piss. Like, let's wrap this up. Then he wanted to see the shotguns. I'm like, yo, like, serio? Unless you're gonna buy something, like, on the spot right now, like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So, as we're leaving, I think we went to Farmer Boys. We went to go eat. And he was like, I was about to buy an AR right now until you told me you had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, relax, bro. Like, you don't gotta get one right now. You could get the AR when we come back. Like, cause my pops dropped serious fetty. The pistol was 900. The magazines were 250. The pistol kit was 50. So it was like he was already 1200, and then the AR probably the assault AR he wanted probably was around like $1,200, $1,300. I said this dude was gonna drop like 2.5 G's on fucking guns right now, guns and ammo. He dropped more money, and let me tell you how. We go to Farmer Boys, and he orders 2,400 rounds of 9mm ammo. I said, yo, like, are you one of these doomsday preppers, yo? Like, why are you over here buying so much fucking ammo? He's like, we're gonna be really set. I'm like, yeah, we got like 3,000 rounds at the house. And I just bought 200 rounds of 380 ammo, because I knew from right there, looking at the Bursa, I was like, once I pay all my bills off, I'm coming in this store and I'm buying that Bursa Firestorm. Like, I just knew it, holding it in my hands and just fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a done dilly that I was gonna get this Bursa Firestorm. I didn't know that my dad was gonna buy a pistol. I didn't know he wanted to buy an AR. I didn't know he was gonna try to look at the shotguns. But we had a good meal. He got a gun. We bought some ammunition, and I had to go to work. I told, because he was like, my dad was trying to make it this whole day with me, which I would have loved to do, but I was getting mad because, like, we were burning so much time at the gun store that I was like, yo, like, let's go. I gotta piss. Pissing was a halfway excuse, because I really just wanted to leave. Like, unless you're gonna, like, bro, like, just don't, like, what are you gonna buy, like a fucking pistol or shotty and a rifle all in one day? Like, no, don't do that. Like, break it up, man. For, like, be a responsible. My dad got the money for it, but it's just kind of, you know, I don't know. That's just kind of wild to be buying all that shit. But I told my dad, you know, you have the day off. I don't. I gotta go work, bro. So as we're driving home, we had like this real father-son moment that I don't think we've ever had. But my dad just looks at me and he has this goofy smile like the Grinch. He's like, "You're my dog, son." And I was like, what? He's like, "You're my dog, son." That shit had me dying. It was a real like father-son like bonding moment. And I can't remember the last time we've had a moment like that. Me and my dad and me, we've had like our ups and downs. And it was really dope to just be with my father, and we just, you know, talk like about guns and shit that we like, and just share each other's hobbies and opinions. Cause my dad, he likes what he likes, I like what I like, but in that we kind of share this bonding moment of, he's looking at the Bursa and he's like, "Man, that it's like too little," or it's 380. Like, we have 9mm ammo. I'm like, "Don't worry, like, I'll buy like 380 ammo. Like, you know, it's not a thing." I want the gun. I've been wanting the gun since before I even got the Glock. That was the first gun I wanted, was the Bursa Thunder. To me, it was just like the small little piece, real concealable, you could have with you, and not like a big Colt. Like, a Colt is a big gun, a 1911. That's not a concealed carry weapon, bro. You could do it. Like, if you got one of them FBI straps and shit, and have it right there and just fucking like Max Payne, just pull it out. But I don't want to do that. I've always wanted a little piece and just have it on me, like in the boot or something like that. And with the Bursa Firestorm, I could finally do it. It was a really dope, man. Like the whole weekend, like from Friday, was really dope to me, and just. I just loved it, you know. Me and my pop, like I said, we kind of had our rocky moments, me and my pop, especially like the last couple years, not maybe the last few years, but like for a while, it wasn't it, like my pop me and my pop, we used to be really, really close, And we just, for the longest time, we weren't seeing eye to eye or whatever, especially with me when I was still drinking and things of that nature. It was bad. And it's like, going out shooting with my family, it was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like God blessed me and my pop to just kind of finally bond, like for real, not like trauma bonding or anything like that. Like really like being cool with each other and shit. Not that we were never not cool with each other, but this is just a different level. Like I feel it. Like I really feel it. You know what I mean? Like he really liked going with me and seeing all the guns. And it was just like a real raw moment. So I love my pops forever for that. Speaking of guns, man, I remember I was the other week or whatever it is, like a few days ago, I was with my coworkers and we're chilling in the conference room or whatever, and there's two coworkers that are like PB and J. One of them is talking with me in the room, and the other one is like, "Hey, man, do you know what this guy said?" He's talking about me. He's like, "Yo, you know what this guy told me?" He's like, "What?" I asked this guy, "Do you watch sports?" And he goes, "Nah, I don't like sports. I like guns." And they started dying. And I was like, "You're right. I don't like sports. Sports is lame. Hockey's cool, but that's about it. I don't like sports. I like guns, bro. I don't shoot buckets. I shoot hollow tips." They started dying. I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't shoot threes. I shoot nines. I shoot 22s, 40s, 45s, 357s. You know what I mean? I don't be doing none of this. I don't like sports because I wasn't really good at sports. I was cool at sports in the rookie leagues, but anything past rookie, like intermediate, I was like, oh fuck, this is real. Like, nah, sports ain't for me. I think that's why I don't like sports, is because I wasn't good at it. So I feel like the disdain comes from me not being good at it versus shooting guns. There's really not no sports. I mean, yeah, like there's sport like gun shooting competitions, but there's no fucking LeBron James of gun shooting. I'm sure there is, but it's not televised, you know what I mean? In that way where people are like, "Yo, did you see this guy shoot that 357 at work?" Like, no. At work, people are like, "Yo, did you see the Knicks last night? Oh, man, the fucking Celtics." And then the third, and they talk about sports, and then the break room is always on the sports channel, and that shit gets annoying because it's like, I don't want to watch sports. I want to watch a movie or a show. Like, who is like, "Yo, I can't wait to watch the fucking Lakers after I just did all this bullshit ass work"? That might be you. It's not me. You know what I mean? Yesterday I was supposed to get my my pictures taken by Ray, and I think this is the third time. This is the third time where she told me, "Yo, I'm not going to be able to make it. Can we shoot over here at a later time?" I said, "No, I have plans already." And that's really the only time that I have, I didn't like that. This is the third time. Like, respect my time, don't be over here talking. Like, if I book the time, I expect that time. Even with Karlos, and I book a hair appointment, it's if it's 9:50, I'm in that fucking building at 9:50. Sometimes Karlos takes like 10 minutes to finish cutting hair. I don't know why he does that. I don't know why. If it takes an hour for him to cut hair, but if it's in 50-minute slots, you need more time, bro. Like, you need to space it out. Like, give it an hour. You know what I mean? But that's cool. If I gotta wait 10 minutes, that's better than, "Yo, I know it's at 9:50, but can we reschedule at 12? It's like, no, that don't work. Like, what the fuck? In 3 more hours? Bro, my whole life is revolved around planning. I'm a Capricorn. I plan shit. There's certain rules and regulations that I live my life by. And respecting my time and other people's time is literally what the fuck, like how I live, So with Ray, I love her to death. She's a great photographer, but it's like, homegirl, you got to get your shit together. Like, you can't be talking about, "Yo, can we schedule this, schedule." it's like we can, but it's like, bro, respect my time. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, reschedule until I don't feel like getting my pictures taken by you anymore? Like, respect the time. I understand we're all adults. We all have lives. We all have things to do. But respect the time. If I book the time, you gotta be there at that time. I don't give a fuck what happens. Unless it's an emergency, unless your mama dropped, unless like something, like you got in a crazy car crash or something, you gotta follow through, bruh. You know, unless it's like a life or death situation or your safety's involved or things of that nature. If it don't fall under those guides, if it's something like, yo, my ride ain't gonna be here until this time, it's like, bruh, what does that mean? Like, that you might have just well say, you know, well, fuck your time and you could reschedule. That's like what you're telling me is like, fuck your time. We can do this whenever, and you're not taking it serious. So just respect my time, man. My sister ordered a package that you need a signature required. These fucking dickheads, they pull up, knock on your door, and leave. They don't even wait. They knock on your door and they fucking bounce. Like, oh, like catch me if you can type shit. Literally, I heard a knock at my door. I'm like, who the fuck is that? No one knocks on my door. And the fucking stupid recliner seat, it goes. It takes like a fucking whole Loiter Squad episode to collapse the seat out so you could get up. So I'm literally like, fuck, man. Like, what if like it's the cops or something? So I get up and I look out, and the mailman, I see him. He's already like almost to his car. I said, yo, ho, 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 ho. I opened the door. I was like, yo. And he's like, oh. And he fucking gets the pen, gets the thing. He fucking runs over. He's like, here, I need a signature. I'm like, no shit. And I fucking sign it. And in my head, I'm like, yo, dickhead, you need to fucking wait. I understand it's a signature required. You need to drop off packages and all that shit. Most people don't come outside their houses until the fucking groundhog sees his ass or whatever. But you need to chill the fuck out. And you need to fucking understand that if you knock on the door and you leave and you go to the truck right away within a minute, I don't know why I picked this up. You gotta understand that you're not gonna get a signature by fucking just leaving. You're not dropping off a package. You need a signature required. That requires you to knock on the door, wait there, at least wait a minute. I'm not telling you fucking take a lunch break. I'm just telling you knock and wait 45 seconds, fuck it, and then leave. You know what I mean? Because in 45 seconds, someone can be like, hold on, or I'm home, hold the fuck up, feeding my dog, wiping my ass, some shit like that. Then you could be like, oh, okay, they wiping their ass. I'm gonna just post back. You know what I mean? But when you knock on the door and you just leave, that just says fuck everybody and everyone in this house that needs a package. And you know what it was? I'm going to bring it, matter of fact, right now. I got this vinyl that I ordered back in October. And it's so beautiful. Look at this. Get the whole thing in the frame. Boom! Look at that. This is the Conway Reject vinyl. And I want to say this is number 5. I think this is... And you see it? Where is it? Boom, right there. Number 5. This is the Reject on steroids vinyl. This is the first one, actually. The first ever vinyl that Conway had came out for this album. I really would have preferred the OG cover with Conway's face and all that. But I don't know if they got permission to use it or something. But this is a great album. I love it to death. A lot of these beats are like other people's, I think. Like Love Means is actually a Rock Marcy song. What else? I don't know. Oh, Not Humble is the Humble cover by Kendrick Lamar. The Vision is another song. I forgot. I think that's a Kodak Black song. But literally, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think I've told this story before where I played the song for the first time when I was dropping Mufasa off when he lived in South Central. And I heard Through It All for the first time like at 3 a.m. And I was just like, wow, you know what I mean? This is like one of the hardest albums I've ever heard. So I had a sign for it. I didn't even know. Like, if they miss you, they come back 2 times and then you have to pick it up at the post office. But I caught them on the first time, and I was like, wow, I literally forgot I'd ordered this, because it was back in fucking October, I think, bro. And I remember seeing that they were gonna be shipped beginning in December. So I was like, all right, October, November, December, like, you know, it won't be that long. Had you told me then that it wasn't gonna arrive at my doorstep until almost like the beginning of April, I would have been like, yo, what the fuck? But literally, I spent a third of my check, because I wasn't making much at that time in my part-time position. And this was probably like $50 something, like 55, almost $60. With shipping and all that, I think it was like probably like $70. But this is a great album, and I'm gonna record it, and I'll probably put it on my YouTube. And I don't care if like I get flagged or whatever. But message of the day: respect people's time. You know, be wary of your time, everyone else's time. And you know, I get that we all have things to do, but it's just like, whether it be relationships or whatever, it's like when you ghost people, when you flake on people, when you do like this hot and cold shit, that ain't cool, bruh. That's very immature. It is. And it pisses me off. It really pisses me off when I really think about the people who've blocked me or fucking ghosted me or done this whole cat and mouse shit with me. It really, what it does, it makes me respect you less as a person, because I'm like, literally, I make it a point to be poignant about the times and just an overall general respect of other people's lives. You know, I'm not asking you to give me 110% of your life and your time and all that. I'm just saying, respect what we agree to. If we agree to something and you just say fuck it or whatever it is, that's lame. I don't fuck with that. I don't like people who do that. You know what I mean? So just respect people's time, bruh. I get it. You know, we're all human. We all make mistakes, but we got to be better than that. You know what I mean? Respect people's time. I want to shout out everybody that's watching, tuning in live, replaying whenever it is. I would like to thank God. April Fools. This is the God's Hour.
Mash Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.